Here we have an iPad 10.5 that came in for repair. Customer wrote that 3/4 of the screen is not showing up. But when we tested the iPad, nothing's showing up on the screen. Not 3/4 of the screen, but nothing is showing up on the screen. Big Boss removed the motherboard right here. We're gonna take a look at the motherboard and see if we can figure out why the screen is not coming on. Big Boss already tried another screen and he said the problem is not the screen. It's something to do with the motherboard. If we go here, I'm interested in checking the backlight filters on this motherboard, and I know that we have two of them. We have one on the top here. Let me put the meter in continuity mode. We have one right over here, and this one is testing good. And we have one on the bottom here. And this one is not testing good. It's testing bad, but it does not look bad. Okay, so I think that's our problem. The question is, how are we going to deal with the sonic component? Hot tweezers, especially this one, is not going to do it. Let me switch to another tweezer tip. We're going to have to do it using hot air. Those FEC connectors are very fragile. The slightest amount of hot air will deform and melt the plastic. So we have to be careful. And out. And we're going to use our NF.mini pen. And we're going to apply a solder blob right here. And we also need a solder blob right over here. Grab a new filter. And in case you're wondering, you can purchase those filters off our site. We have 105, 201, 402, 603, 805. You can buy them all as one package or separate. The one we're going to solder here is size 201. And they are sold in packets of 10 because you cannot sell one piece. You cannot see one piece. Let's put some flux on the tip of the tweezer, and then we can, oops. Ninth dimension. Let's grab another one. I mean, you cannot joke with those size filters. There's no joking around. We're always tough with laptops and we say, you want to play games? But with size 201, 1005, you cannot play games with those. So do not try to be a tough guy because you're going to lose. Let's grab this one and we're going to apply hot air to solder that filter back on the board. Let's cover the FEC connector. The bottom one is not covered, but we're going to apply hot air in this area. We're going to avoid applying hot air here. All right, and we're all done. Let's measure. And now we can get rid of this plate. We're going to measure from here to right here. Very good. And we're done. A lot of viewers ask for me to put a coin right next to the area I'm working on so they can see how small that area is. But I do not have a coin right next to me. The filter that we soldered, you cannot see it by the naked eye, but let me see if I can point you to the camera. We soldered right under the FEC connector on the top. The first FEC connector, under it there are a lot of components, and that's where we soldered the filter. Okay, you're not gonna see it. It's very difficult. Talk is easy, but when you look at it with your naked eye or under a magnifier or even under a microscope, the area is very tight, very small. So we're done. I'm gonna give this board to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and I'll be back to finish the video. I just handed the board over to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and by the way, the iPad is 9.7 and not 10.5. I said 10.5 because we have another 10.5 tablet that came in for a backlight issue as well. I should have known because iPad 10.5, it has 4 connectors and not 3 over each other. This one is 10.5 and it came in for a backlight issue as well. Maybe we'll combine both repairs in this video. And right off the bat, I see what's going on. Look at this. You see it, right? And for this one, we do not have to use our hot air station. We can simply use our soldering iron. All right, very good. See the black shield? They have like a black piece of tape over it, and that's what burned on the top here. It's nothing. We could have removed the shield first and then worked on the component, but it's not a big deal. We're done. And we're done. I'm gonna hand this over to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and I'll be back to test both the 9.7 and the 10.5. Big Boss is done with the reassembly of both tablets. And he said that tablet number 1 is fixed, but we will have to replace the screen on it as well. We did fix the backlight issue, but if you look here, 3/4 of the screen is showing and 1/4 is not showing. We tried our screen and that fixed the problem. So the customer has a backlight issue that we fixed and a screen issue. We're gonna have to communicate with the customer and let him know that he needs a screen replacement as well. He can choose that we do it for him, or he can do it on his own. It's up to him. But if he did blow out the backlight circuit again, he's gonna have to pay for it again for us to do it. So it's better that he does it here. And as for the second one, the 10.5 inch, yes, it's working. Let's wait until the tablet boots up so we can make sure everything is good. Is this our screen or his? Okay, this one is the customer's screen, and we have a problem. We have alternating lights on the bottom, and this could be due to a blown diode, a shorted diode, in addition to what we did. It's fine to use a tablet like this, but I would rather that we fix this for the customer. So I'm gonna ask Big Boss to remove the board again, and then we're gonna take a look at the backlight diodes that we have on the board and see if we are able to fix this issue. But the backlight is working. We do see an image and everything is good. And this is only minor, but sometimes minor details are important to fix. Okay, so let's see what's going on. We removed the black shield, so we can take a look at the backlight diodes, which are located on this side. One here and one right next to it. Let's take a look and see if those diodes are bad or if one of them is bad. Right there. One of them is right here, and the other one is hidden right under this. See it? We're going to measure the diodes in diode mode, and we should get a reading of about 0.14 voltage drop. And look at this, short. Diode is short into ground. What about this one? And this one is good. 0.147, 0.147, and the other end will not give any readings. Oh well. But for this one, we are getting a short on both sides. Short here, flip the probes, short here. So we know that we have a bad diode, and that's why we are getting the alternating LED on the bottom, one on, one off, one on, one off. Let's go ahead and remove it, replace it. Those diodes can also be purchased off our website. Just log into NorthridgeFix.com and search iPad diodes. And they sell in packets, I believe, packets of 6. So you can do a lot of tablets with 6 diodes. Sometimes you have 2 bad diodes, sometimes you have 1. Out. Apply flux. See what happens when we do not have enough flux on the pad. One of them is nice and round because of flux, and the other one, because we do not have enough flux, look at how it spikes. Some viewers ask, what's the purpose of flux? Newbies. So that's a very good example on why flux is needed. Flux helps with the flow of solder. So let's try again. And look at this, nice and round. Perfect example on what flux does. Let me grab a diode. We're done. Let's go ahead and test, because I know some of you are wondering what if the short was coming from rest of the board. The answer is no. And you may ask, how do you know? Because I worked on this very same issue like 6,222 times. I know. See? If we measure in diode mode from here to here, we have a reading of 0.147, and if we flip the probes, we are not getting a reading anymore. Oh well, perfect. Job is done. I'm gonna hand this over to Big Boss to assemble and test, and I'll finish the video with this tablet. And Big Boss is done with the reassembly of the 10.5 again. Let's see if we still have. Perfect. Look at this. We no longer have the alternating on and off LEDs on the bottom, and everything is perfect. All right, we're gonna invoice and mail this back to the customer. Thank you very much, Big Boss. Welcome. Boss of all bosses. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.